All right, everybody. Let me make sure this audio is good real quick. All right, everybody. Okay, we're good. So basically, we have what looks to be a quite concerning system right now setting up next week, next Monday in the plains. What I like to start out with when I'm forecasting these type of events is the jet stream. So the jet stream, I don't know if you guys have ever ridden in an airplane, but if you have and you felt turbulence, that's the jet stream. The jet stream is the winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's basically the what controls our weather pattern mainly, or one of the main things that contributes to our weather patterns here in the United States, the continental U.S. So looking at this, as you can see, these little divots right here, these two right here, when a divot is kind of like this or more like this, those are or kind of when they look like a flipped around comma, if you will, those are what we call negatively tilted troughs. And one like this that looks like a regular comma is called a positively tilted trough. Now, more times than not, you're going to get severe weather with these negatively tilted troughs and not so much with these positively tilted troughs. So right now, this is looking at today. Things are pretty dry all over the U.S. As we go into this weekend, you can kind of see this system or this trough starting to work up here off the coast of California. As we go into this weekend, into Sunday, that is going to grow significantly. And into Monday, by the time we get into Monday afternoon and evening, that's going to work its way into the plains. Now, 00Z on Tuesday, Central Time, it is 6 hours behind. So at 00Z on Tuesday, that would be 6 p.m. on Monday evening, 6 p.m. Central. So this nose of this trough is where I'm really looking at right now. As you can see, it is a huge negatively tilted trough. As we pull this out a little bit, that starts to work its way up into the plains. Now, with it coming off of the coast down here, it will start to try and bring some moisture up, which I'll show you that in a minute, and also some moisture up from the Gulf of Mexico as well. So pulling that up, it's going to bring up, it's going to come up, and that's what's going to be our main factor for severe weather in this area. Or I guess through Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, part of Arkansas as well. I'm going to open a new tab real quick. So the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has issued a huge severe 15% risk, which is equal to a slight risk, which is a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. So as we bring this up, you can see we have a ton of states involved in that, and the reason for this is day 6 Tuesday, severe threats should, or is it day 5 now? Yeah, Monday is actually day 5 now. So day 5, there are some differences in model agreements, or what we use to forecast. They're like really long range radars. But for atmospheric conditions, you also can see long range precipitation on those as well. Let me zoom in so it's not so blurry. I apologize about that. So basically, this is what we're looking at for day 5, Monday. So, even though overall upper trough orientation, which is what I was just showing you here, the troughs, may remain somewhat positively tilted, which, like I was saying, that kind of contributes to there not being so much severe weather. Most deterministic guidance shows that mid-level speed max associated with a shortwave trough will eject northeastward over the southern and central plains through Monday evening. And then low-level mass response should encourage the eastward development of a surface low to the Oklahoma and Kansas vicinity in a similar time frame. Favorable low-level trajectories emanating from the Gulf will act to increase low-level moisture in tandem with steepening mid-level lapse rates and daytime heating across a broad warm sector extending from the southern and central plains into the lower Mississippi Valley and as well as the Ohio Valley. So basically what we're looking at for this is supercells, which the environment is going to be very favorable for supercells. Supercells can bring all severe hazards, including tornadoes, damaging winds and hail, and flash flooding, as well as significant lightning. So, that's why they have introduced this huge 15% risk for Tuesday. So, Monday, where confidence is the greatest that robust convection will develop in a parameter space characterized by weak or moderate instability. Instability is one of the things that really gets storms going. So when the atmosphere is unstable or unstable, that's one of the things that thunderstorms need to start really forming. And strong deep layer shear. Now, shear, I will discuss that with you guys in a minute, but that is also one of our big factors into tornadoes and supercells. A nocturnal minimum in severe convective potential may be realized Monday night into early Tuesday morning across parts of the lower Mississippi into the Mid-South, given the positively tilted nature of the upper trough. So the supercells are capable of producing large hail and tornadoes. And as we go later into the evening, into the night, of course, there's going to be those supercells. Okay, I was making sure I was on the right thing. Hold up, let me check and make sure I'm on the right scene. And I did not completely mess this up for you guys. Yep, we're good. Okay, cool. So basically what we're looking at with this, like I was saying, that's going to bring moisture up. Now, looking at our shear, severe weather shear. Shear is basically wind or wind shear. So when we have significant wind shear, especially wind shear coming out of the southwest, moving northeast, that's really what's going to get our supercells going, and possibly those tornadoes and having that greater tornado threat. So looking at this with our shear, 89 knots of shear down here in this area, basically south of I-70 here, all the way back into Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma as well. This is going to be where the greatest threat for tornadoes is, right down here in the southern half of Missouri, into the western half of Arkansas, back down into Oklahoma. Maybe not so much as into Texas, maybe a little bit of northern Texas here. But that is... so looking at our future radar here, if we go here, if it'll load for me. There we go. So looking at our future radar here, like I said, we're mainly dry. There is a little bit of snow back here, but nothing much. As we go into Sunday, there is a small threat for severe weather, minor severe weather, maybe some larger hail or isolated quarter-sized hail, and maybe some stronger winds that could cause damage to trees, things like that. But I think that this up here in Missouri, as well as this here into Iowa, into Illinois, that's just going to be general rain showers. So Sunday, mostly dry. As we go into Monday morning, you can see the first round of showers and maybe a couple of stronger thunderstorms move into Missouri here. And that'll be going from about late Sunday night. Like I said, this is 6 hours behind, so that would be at 9 p.m. Sunday night. It would last most of most of Monday. So at around 9 p.m. Sunday night, that's when we're going to start seeing those general rain showers move through Missouri potentially. And then they'll move out, and you'll have some more rain showers during the day. And then there will be a little bit of dry time late Sunday afternoon into early Sunday evening. And then you'll start getting more of this severe weather. The issue with this is if these rain showers become more stronger thunderstorms, not severe, but stronger thunderstorms, I don't think we'll see much severe potential with the earlier rain showers. That could use up a lot of our energy in the atmosphere. Now, if that happens and the sun doesn't have time to come out and basically recharge the atmosphere, get the energy that's needed for those severe weather to happen, this is going to completely bust. There's nothing that's going to be happening with this. But at Tuesday at around 6 p.m., you can start seeing that severe weather move into Missouri. That is going to last for a few hours. Actually, I do want to take a look at my hodographs here. So basically, ignore this. Ignore this marginal tornado, as well as this down here. Those are not something we look at. What I'm really looking at here is this 3 CAPE, which CAPE stands for Connective Available Potential Energy. Right now, the CAPE is a little low. I will be showing you the models and showing you the CAPE. I do think it's going to be more than that. Looking at our dew points here and our temperature, we do have dew points in the 60s, which is really, really favorable for severe weather for those supercells to get going. 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That is also a really good temperature for the more severe weather to happen. Okay, so, going over and looking at our connective available potential energy, which it's not there, it's actually here. Surface-based CAPE. Now this is our energy that's going to be available at the surface ground, so or at surface levels. So just because, like tomorrow, just because you have this does not mean that there's going to be severe weather and storms in your area. I'm just pulling it out to show you Monday, where we have a pretty good idea of where that more severe weather is going to be. So surface-based CAPE is not looking overly impressive for northern Missouri at all. Where it's looking most impressive and where it has my most attention is down here in southern Missouri into the Ozarks, into southwest Missouri, and then over here in eastern Oklahoma, back over into the western part of Arkansas, which we do have pretty good CAPE. Now, looking at our instability, there is pretty good there is quite a bit of instability in the atmosphere down in those same areas. So I think where the best chance for that we could see storms is see if I still have it. The area that I'm really highlighting right now is this here. That area. So southern and southwest Missouri back into eastern Oklahoma into western Arkansas is where I think we could see that greatest threat for storms to really get going. We still are day 4, 4 days out from this, I believe. Nope, is it day 5? Maybe day 5. Yes, day 5. We are still 5 days out from this, so this could change, but it has been becoming more consistent with each run of these forecast models, and it has been agreeing more with each other. Now, looking at this is the GFS. There's also another main model that we use. That is the ECMWF, or the Euro model for short. So looking at this, it is starting to kind of agree a bit with the GFS. However, it is showing a great or much more instability in CAPE in this area down here. The GFS was showing about 5,000 joules per kilogram, and this is showing 1,000. Excuse me. And just because of this, I don't think there will be much that happens down here. Maybe a little bit, but looking at our surface. In precipitation, we'll see if it's kind of matching up with the GFS on where the best chance for storms is going to be here. So as you can see, we do have what appears to be these supercells moving through right here, and that'll eventually move into a line of storms, and as it does that, later into Monday night, that will become less severe. So these supercells, especially when they're out by ourselves, is what we really, really have to watch. Because these discrete supercells, or the cells that are out by themselves, is what's going to be, those are where you're going to see your biggest and most severe tornadoes. So something that the GFS does not give us, but this the Euro model does, is lightning flash density, which lightning flash density is pretty reliable. And lightning flash density basically tells us where the most storms are going to be and where the most lightning is going to be. Now, usually with setups like this, when you have lots of lightning, you're going to have, that's usually a sign of tornado genesis. So as you can see, it's starting off around up here, back into Nebraska, up in Illinois on Monday at around 6 a.m. And as we go throughout the day, these storms, these early morning storms, are going to die out at around lunchtime, the lunch hour, about 12 o'clock. And then they will blow back up around 6 p.m., so around dinner time. So another thing that we really need to look at is our dew points. Dew points are, storms need higher dew points to really get going, especially the more bigger storms. So as you can see, there is literally no moisture right now. Very, very low moisture in the atmosphere. As we go into Saturday, there is going to be a resurgence of that moisture coming back up into the plains, up into Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and that's gonna kind of drop off for a little bit. But as we go into Sunday, those dews are gonna pop back up into the 60s, and going into Monday, they're going to, it appears, stay in the 60s. So these higher dew points is what's really going to get your storms going here. Now looking at shear on this, on the Euro, looks like we do have sufficient southwesterly flow shear for this time period. I went way too far out. It looks like we do have sufficient southwesterly shear coming up. Let's go back to our GFS. I do want to look at something. A lot of people say not to look at this, but I kind of like to look at it just to give us an idea of where that greatest potential for that those supercells are. So as we drag this out, as we go into the time that we're going to be getting into that severe weather around 6 p.m. on Monday, there is a significant amount of supercell composite down here. So if we look at our photographs for the southern half of Missouri, it is looking quite favorable for possible supercells and that potential tornadic activity. That is all I have for you all now. Actually, I do want to show you one other thing real quick. Chase mode will be activated with this setup. As we go into Monday, I will bring you an update on this Monday morning. Because on Monday morning, we are going to have the short range models, which really shows where the greatest storms will be popping up. Let's see. So the CSU, or Colorado State University Meteorological Center, has this is your SPC outlook there. I'll zoom in so you can see it a bit better. So this is the SPC outlook. We have that slight risk. Now there are 3 levels of risks. Wrong. There's general thunder, which is just a couple of loud rumbles of thunder, maybe some smaller hail. There's marginal, where you're going to start seeing your bigger hail. Smaller tornado risks, more damaging winds. Then it goes slight, enhanced, moderate, and high. So there's so 6 different levels. Now, this red is what CSU considers their moderate risk. The yellow is slight, the brown is marginal. And then this purple here is going to be your high risk. Excuse me. The red is going to be the enhanced risk, and the purplish color, the light purple color here, is going to be your hot or moderate risk. So level 4 out of 5 risk. I think this is kind of overdoing it a little bit, in my opinion. I think once we get closer, the SPC will issue a level 3 out of 5. Possibly there's a small chance maybe a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk. But I don't think that will happen. I think it'll stay at an enhanced risk with a 10% chance of tornadoes happening within 25 miles of a given point, which is not a low tornado threat at all. That is a higher end tornado threat. So yeah, that is all I have for you now. Chase mode, like I said, will be activated on Monday. We will be live on YouTube with this. Or live on YouTube chasing. I'll probably be out with a couple of other guys out there. So make sure you stay updated to weather. Stay weather aware. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Stay safe.